The Four Seasons. Star Marco Calvani on the life-changing role. He never saw coming, sometimes, life throws you an unexpected plot twist. And if you're Marco Calvani, that twist comes served with homemade pasta, a casual dinner party, and a phone call from Colman Domingo that changes everything. Netflix's The Four Seasons, a buzzy new ensemble comedy created by comedy royalty Tina Fey, is hitting the platform with the kind of energy you'd expect from a show starring Fey herself, Steve Carell, Will Forte, and the ever-charismatic Colman Domingo. But among all the familiar faces, one name might stand out: Marco Calvani. An Italian playwright, director, and now Breakout star, Calvani steps into the role of Claude, Danny's loving, flamboyant, occasionally chaotic husband, and is already making headlines for a performance that's funny, heartfelt, and deeply human. But what's making fans double take isn't just the performance, it's the wild story of how he got the part. From playwright to primetime, let's rewind. Long before Claude existed on screen, Marco Calvani was content working behind the scenes. A well-regarded playwright and filmmaker, Calvani had all but stepped away from acting. In fact, he hadn't performed in years. So how did this low-key creative end up starring opposite Emmy winner Colman Domingo in one of Netflix's most anticipated comedies of the year? Blame Dinner, or Thank It. As Domingo recently told Gold Derby, he and the show's creators were still in the early stages of casting when he attended a dinner party at Calvani's home. The menu? Classic Italian cuisine. The vibe? Warm, effortless, full of love. Basically a Marco Calvani specialty. But then came a suggestion that would alter the trajectory of Marco's career. My husband said, "What if Marco auditioned?" Domingo recalled. So my actual husband ended up choosing my TV husband. It sounds like a romantic comedy setup. But for Calvani, it didn't exactly feel like destiny at first. When Colman called me the next day, he asked, "Are you still an actor?" Calvani said in a recent interview. And I told him, honestly, number. And he meant it. For the past 15 years, Calvani had poured his soul and his finances into writing and directing, crafting intimate plays and indie films that showcased his voice. Acting? That was a chapter he'd closed. Or so he thought. But Colman Domingo doesn't give up easily. With the persistence only a true friend can pull off, he encouraged Calvani to at least put himself on tape. No pressure, no details, just a leap of faith. And thank God for the secrecy. If he had told me Tina Fey, Steve Carell, and Will Forte were involved, I would have freaked out and never sent in that tape, Calvani admitted. Sometimes, ignorance really is bliss. No shortcuts, no nepotism, just talent. Despite the personal connection, Calvani insists the process was anything but a favor. There was no nepotism at all, he laughs. I did everything by the book, sent in my tape, got the callback, then met Tina on Zoom, along with what felt like 100 other people. It wasn't just a formality, it was real, it was competitive, and Calvani earned it. And when he landed the role of Claude, an affectionate, expressive, and deeply nuanced man, it wasn't just a win. It was a moment of profound transformation. I wasn't dreaming of going back to acting, he reflects. Not in such a big way. Not with these legends. But this role changed everything. A new Claude for a new era. The Four Seasons, co-created by Fey alongside Lang Fisher and Tracy Wigfield, reimagines Alan Alda's 1981 film of the same name. The premise is deceptively simple. 3 couples navigate a year's worth of vacations, holidays, and revelations together. But when one couple breaks up, the entire dynamic is thrown into chaos. In the original film, Claude was Claudia, a character portrayed by the great Rita Moreno. But in this fresh reworking, Claude is now one half of a same-sex couple, paired with Domingo's Danny. The update is smart, timely, and heartfelt, without ever veering into tokenism, and Calvani brings a whole new life to the character. From the very beginning, I loved Claude, he says, but I saw the challenge. He was written as flamboyant, and I didn't want to fall into the tired stereotype of a middle-aged gay man we've seen too many times on TV. The struggle? Staying true to Claude's big personality while also giving him soul. I also didn't want to be a cliche of the Italian guy living in America, Calvani adds. But those elements, his culture, his vibrancy, they're also part of the comedy. So it was this tightrope walk. I had to find the real man underneath. And he did. Early in the season, there's a moment where Claude belts out Shania Twain's Still the One during a vow renewal ceremony, only to discover that his partner, Danny, lied about the song's significance to avoid an awkward moment at their own wedding. It's funny, sure. But then comes the heartbreak, the subtle shift in Claude's face. The